I have 10 art exhibits coming in the next 5 months. And before we start the updates about what I'm doing every day to try and make all of these art shows happen, I thought it would be really fun to tell the story of how this happened because that was not the goal of this year. The goal of this year was to not do pretty much art shows and to just focus on experimenting and on growing my skills and my craft. And I wanted to take a year off because I started my career almost 2 years now. And the first year I learned how to do art shows. I did my first solo art show that I set up all by myself, and it was a really huge learning opportunity. It was really fun. And then I started to getting into doing collective art shows, and that was really fun to learn too. And then last year I spent the whole year sending my art into call for artists, and I got all negative responses except for one for art happening, and it kind of really bummed me out. At some point I was spending all my time filling out these documents to try and have cool opportunities and try and do cool stuff, and then at some point I realized, like, oh, I'm aiming way too high. I'm just started. I'm still very emerging. Let's focus on this. Let's have fun in this period, and let's try to get into these in like high opportunities when I'm further along in my career. Like, there was no rush. I completely switched my mindset, and I was like, I signed up to go back to school in art in the fall, and I had done a couple classes 10 years ago in art. And so the college wrote me and were like, do you want these courses credited? And I was like, no, no, I don't. I want to do them all over again because I just want opportunities to create and learn about my art and what I want to do. And I just want to make stuff, and this is going to be fun. And so this is not the goal for my summer. It's to end up with 4, which will possibly turn into 14 art exhibits in 5 months. I'm sorry, I still cannot stop laughing at that because it's a little terrifying. So how did I get here? When I moved, I changed city last July. I found like 2 artist association places. The first one has one exhibit that I'm for sure doing this summer and a possibility of 2 others. The second one, they do a rally where people come into your studio and you meet everybody for like a weekend, and that's why I signed up. And after signing up, I learned that they had three three other art exhibits that I'm already signed up for, and a possibility of another art exhibit and a residency with them that I sent my name for, and we'll see if they pick me or not. Um, which that was what I was signing up for. That was supposed to be my year. They're all collective shows, and the residencies in the park near me, and I was really excited. It would have been my first residency, and I thought it was a cool way to do a little things this summer, but not that much. And then, 2 of my family members sent me a call for artists for an exhibit at the library in their city, and so I was like, sure, let's do that. I sent in my information, and then I have another friend who sent me a call for artists for a cafe doing a show in her town, and she lives in the most beautiful place. So I was like, sure, if I get chosen, I'll go there with my boyfriend and we'll have a cute weekend. He has family there, we'll see his family. It'll be fun. And then both of those things said yes on like the same day. On the same day. And the one at the library, there's so much space. I think it could like hang up like 30 pieces of art, which is an insane number. And then my city called me that same week. Like, I think even the same day. Everything came on the same day. It was the greatest day, but also a little stressful. They called me to do a 2-week residency at the culture trailer that our city is just setting up this year. And so I said yes. They tried to do a call for artists, and I think they were too last minute. They didn't really get a lot of people's information, people like artists registering. And so another city employee gave my name because I've known her from going to the city's art shows at the city's art gallery and just showing up everywhere because I love art and I want to meet everybody in this new city. And so she knew who I was. And when they were looking for artists, she was like, her, call her. So I said yes. And then there's also a museum that I really love close to where my parents live, where I was living last year, that does an open exhibit for everybody, and it's a contest. And I was like, I'm definitely signing up for that again because I love the museum director, the directress. Anyway, the director is a woman, so I don't know how you say that in English, but she's been really helpful in my art career. So of course I am signing up to do that one. I'm not expecting to win because there are really professional artists signing up too, but it's a fun experience. I see artists that I know every time I go there, and it's an opportunity to exhibit in a freaking museum, an art museum, which doing a solo show in an art museum is my dream. Very frankly, that is my dream. So I think that's all of them. I'm going to check because I might be forgetting one because there are so many. I forgot one. There is also a symposium in a town, maybe an hour away from me, that I learned existed from one of the art associations that I'm in. They're not affiliated with them, but it's a symposium that costs $25. And for any artist doing symposium, that is ridiculously cheap. And they offer food. They feed you for that price. So it's basically free. And this year I signed up to do the inside portion because I don't have a tent because I've never done a symposium before. And there was no more space inside, but they rented me half of a tent. Like we're splitting it 2 artists for $25. So it cost me $50 to have a tent rental and food. So I could not pass that up. I signed up for that before everything else came about. I was like, oh, that's going to be a really cool, it's a 1 day thing. It'll be an experience to just try it, see if I like it. I'm very excited about that. But that falls in the same period as the library exhibit and as the residency. So I need a lot of art that I can all exhibit at the same time in 3 different places. 3 different places. Wish my luck.